Hello, I'm Nancy Smith Mattox on WYTV7 in Charlotte, broadcasting from Little Rock, Arkansas on Shine Your Light Radio Ministry. I'm very excited to be back. I'm excited that we're starting into our fall schedule. Before we start with our very special guest today, let me just share with you that WYTV7 is a nonprofit. We do accept donations, and we use those donations to promote all of the broadcasters' shows internationally. And we do have a lot of international viewers that do watch our shows, and they glean a lot from it. And as far as Shine Your Light is concerned, our purpose is to shine the light, let people's light shine that have done special things, written books, have a special ministry, have something that they really want to talk about, share their testimony. So I'm real excited about that. So remember to plant a seed into WYTV7. $5 goes a long way to promote our shows. So without further ado, let's get started with my very special guest today. His name is Harvey Brooks. He is from Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm very excited to have him today. And the show will be aired at a later date, but we are in the midst of a very tremendous storm, Hurricane Florence, that's going through in the background, as you can see on Mr. Brooks, through Mr. Brooks' background. But anyway, I appreciate him for being here today. I know it was difficult getting here, and I'm just praying so much for all of our Carolina people during the storm. So anyway, Mr. Brooks is a published author. Possibly his book may turn into a movie. So I'm real excited about that. So Mr. Brooks, without further ado, just tell us a little bit about your testimony and about yourself.
Born right here in Charlotte, North Carolina. My mother had 10 children. She had 5 boys and 5 girls. And she had them like this. She had the girl first, then she had a boy. She had a girl, she had a boy. She had a girl, she had a boy. She had a girl, she had a boy. And out of all of them, I was the only one that was born in the house. And so I knew it was something different about me because I didn't like my brothers and my sisters. I couldn't help that. It was something driven on the inside of me. I guess the enemy was working with me pretty good at a young age. And so I would say one day, I'm gonna go back, I'm gonna say one day I had slipped off to the store. And I was on my way back home, and I started thinking about, why is I'm this color, why I'm not white, and why I'm in this family, I was just thinking it. And all of a sudden this voice came to me and started speaking to me and was telling me about being grateful for who I was, and like he was reading my thoughts. And so he talked to me for a second there, and so I ran home, and I didn't tell anybody what had happened. I think I probably was at 7 years old at that time. And so the following year, the Lord saw fit to take my mother. And like I said, I was a person that was very, very, very mean. And I didn't like my sisters or my brothers. And so one day, my sister and I was playing, and she ran me out on the front porch. And so I said, well, if my mama don't come back, what's going to happen to me? So I started thinking, either I'm going to kill somebody, or somebody going to kill me, or I'm going to go to jail. I'm thinking like this at 8 years old. And I started thinking, I said, well, maybe I need to try this God that people talk about, see if he's real, and see what he changed me. And so, and I got my thoughts together. And I said, God, if you're real, say something. He said, I'm God. And then so I said, where you at? And he said, I see you, but you can't see me. He said, I've been watching you. And then so all of a sudden when he said that, he showed me things just crystal clear that I had been doing. And then so, and I asked him, could he help me? And he said, what you want me to do? And he said, I said, well, can you change my life? Can you show me my life? He said, if I do this, he said, what would you do for me? I said, well, what can I do for you? And he said, well, would you work for me? I said, well, how can I work for you? I said, my dad worked for me, And so that's kind of my mouth I had at that time. And so he said, yeah, he could do that. He said, once I change you, you can't do things that other people do. I said, well, come on, change. Then so he started telling me about he was coming back here. And so I said, well, when you coming back? He said, I don't know. No, he didn't say he didn't know. He said, I'm sorry about that. He said, when my father came. And I said, your father? So I'm getting confused now, 8 years old, because I didn't know that much about God. And so he said, when my father tell me. And so uh, he he told me that he had been down here 2,000 years ago. He told me he had been down here 2,000 years ago. And he told me that he was, that his mother's name was Mary, and he started telling me that he had died for me. I said, you died for me? He said, I died for the whole world. And then so I said, okay. So I still pushing him, wanting to see what he's gonna change me. So he kept on talking and wanted me to make that commitment that that he could change. No, I want him to make the commitment that I want him to change me. So he said, okay. He said, well, if I change you now, you cannot do what other people do. I said, okay, I'm anxious. I want to see how I'm gonna get changed. And so, and he said he could show me my life. So he started showing me, he showed me this lady. He told me he had people working for him. He showed me this white lady, and she was over all these people and different color people. And he told me that she was working for him. And then so I said, okay. I said, well, yeah, I'll work. I made a commitment that I will work for him. And then so he said he'll show me my life in the years to come. And so I sat there, and the water was dropping off the house, and he spoke on the inside of me. He said the water gonna drop, and the water said, "Bloop." He said the water gonna drop, and it, bloop, bloop. It dropped just like he said. He did it about 2 times. Then I came back to myself, and then so I said it myself. I said the water gonna drop. The water wouldn't do anything. Then he said the water.
Yeah.
Pardon me?
Yes, sir. I don't mean to interrupt you, but I have several questions before we go on into the later parts. I always ask people what God has done for them, and you explained that beautifully without me even asking you. So thank you for that. And also, the voice that you hear, is it an audible voice or is it just in your head?
No, when I first called on him, it was audible. He was speaking to me, and all of a sudden, he just stopped speaking audible. He just started speaking on the inside of me, like he just took control, like he was in control of it. And he was speaking then, and that's the way he continued speaking on the inside of me after he had stopped audible.
That's very powerful. Very powerful. So
Yeah.
you got lessons straight from God. That's very powerful. I love that. Also, you said there were 10 siblings and 10 children in your family. Where did you fall in the scheme of things?
6.
You were 6. So you were kind of like the middle child, right?
Yes.
Okay. And one of my other thoughts is at 8 years old, for you to be, thinking the bad thoughts and thinking things that really were not the right way to be and the right path to be on, and for God to start speaking to you at 8 years old, that's pretty powerful, wouldn't you think? I mean, that's pretty young for you to realize what was going on.
Well, I would say so. I mean, I was a hard-driven person. I guess it's the spirit that I had on the inside of me, and God knew what I was dealing with. I didn't know what I was dealing with, but I had this strong driving spirit on the inside of me, wanting to do things wrong, but then still I wanted to love my sister, them, and my family, but I didn't know how to do it because I had something on the inside of me keeping me from doing it. But I'm going to tell you real quick and fast. I know it's a long testimony, but I'm not going to go into everything. But I just want to tell you. So once that rains, I spoke the word. It wouldn't do anything. So he started speaking back inside of me again, saying the water gonna drop, and so it did. And all of a sudden, my feet was getting real warm, and then it started coming up my leg, and then it started just taking over my whole body, and then I threw my hand up, and when I closed my eyes, I just saw something white going on the inside of me, something coming out, something was going in, something was coming out, something was going in. And so when I got up, and when that was over, I got up, I went in the house, and I saw my sister them in there. They was kind of like, I guess, arguing with each other. And I just wanted to take them and just put them in my chest and just love them. But I knew I couldn't do it because I was too small to do that. And so I ran and fell beside my bed and just cried and cried and cried and cried. And then after that, I'm skipping over a lot of stuff. So I was in school. I was in the 3rd grade. And all of a sudden, the Lord came in the classroom. He started talking to me. He said, she know your wife. You know what I'm saying? You know my wife. So this girl named Beverly, and my wife named Beverly. And so, and I said, she know my wife. And so they go ask her. They go to the same church. And then so I wouldn't do it. So he kept on forcing me because he was had to tuck me over on the inside. He said, go ask her. He said, go ask her. And I said, okay. I said, Beverly, do you know this girl named? He gave me my wife's name in the classroom. I said, Beverly, do you know this girl named Beverly Brown? They go to your church. She said, I think so. And I said, next time you go to church, see if Beverly Brown go to your church. And so the following week, she came back, and I asked her, I said, did you find out was a Beverly Brown go to your church? She said, yeah, she come there with her grandmother. She said, why you ask me that? I said, well, I just asked, you know. And I didn't tell her what was going on. And I would say when I was around about 12 years old, then, see, I'm skipping over a lot of stuff, I'm just giving you little bits and pieces of my testimony. Normally, when school out, I would go to my brother's house, one of my oldest brother's house. And so one day I was walking, and the Lord came and started talking to me. He said, are you ready to work for me now? And I said, work for you now? And he said, yeah. He said, I started when I was 12. Now, and this is what he was telling me. I'm 12 years old. He said, I started when I was 12. And I said, I was getting kind of like upset because I had other things on my mind, but still, he was talking to me, and at that time, I kind of like forgot what I had told him. And then, so I'm going to tell you another bits and pieces of my testimony. When I was 13 years old, he gave me my wife's telephone number. She never seen me. I called them, and right then and there, he was telling me things to say to them. And so I called them, so my wife answered the phone, and she gave the phone to her sister. And so I wanted to tell the sister that I'm going to marry your sister. And so, and I started telling them certain things about this family and certain things that was going to happen. And they was so surprised. They wanted to know who they was talking to because a person like me was telling them certain things about their family. And I told them, you have a brother named so-and-so. This is what's going to happen to him. He's going to get shot. And so it did take place after me and my wife got married. After we got married.
How old were y'all when you got married?
I was 19 years old when I got married.
Okay.
Wow.
God told you early who you were marrying, didn't he? That's amazing.
Yeah.
Does God still speak to you now?
Yeah, he still speaks to me, not all of it like he did when I was coming up. And I want to tell you too, a lot of time, many a time, he used to come and get me at night and take me out of my body and take me into the future and showing me a lot of things. And then so when I come back into my body, I can see my body laying there in the bed. And like when my spirit hit back into my body, it went in a very force. And a lot of time when I wake up, my clothes is soaking wet, my pajama clothes, because certain things I had seen was very scary. He was showing me some very scary things that was going to take place in the future. And so as time went on, he would just come in my room and talk to me. So I used to tell this friend, that I grew up with, and I just tell him that I have a friend that come into my room and talk to me, but I never would tell him his name. And so one day he got tired of me telling him certain things about him that was going to happen. And so he said, I want to meet this friend you're talking about. He said, when he come back to your room again? And I said, well, I don't know. I said, he just come when he get ready. And so at that time, now I wasn't reading the Bible or anything. And it's just like whenever I called on him, I started talking to him, it's like he was there, the Lord was there. And so when he had told me, my friend said he wanted to meet him, and I started smiling. I wanted to tell him he was here right now, but I didn't. And so one day he came down to my house, and I told him to stay in the living room. I was gonna go in the bedroom. I'll be right back out. So he told me, he said, Harvey, he said, something I want to tell you. Now, he told me this years later. He said, Harvey, something I want to tell you. He said, I said, what's that? He said, you know, one time I came in your house and you told me to stay in the living room, and you went in your bedroom, and you went into your bedroom. He said, when you went in there, he said it was like a blue light shining coming down from heaven, like somebody had never seen before. And he said it started just getting blue and blue. And he said, and I got up to walk back there in your bedroom. He said, this voice spoke in my ear and told me, you can't come back here. And saying, when I went back in the front room, living room, and I sat down, he said, when you came back out and you asked me what was wrong with you, why are you looking like this? And he said, I was too afraid to tell you what had happened to me, and I just kept it to myself. And he said, that's why I'm telling you now, because I held on there for a while. And then so
well, that's exactly what I was going to ask you. How did God identify who he was? It sounds like that's how he identified himself, especially with whomever you were with, you know, maybe some type of a vision or something. Is that how you experienced it when God came to you?
Well, it wasn't when I first met him. Are you speaking when I first met him? Oh no, when I first met him, it was he spoke to me all of it when I first met him. And then as we went on talking, it's like he stopped speaking and he just started speaking on the inside of me. He wouldn't let me talk until he got through talking. Then he felt like I wanted to talk, he would let me talk. And that's the way it went. When I first met him.
Did you ever share this with people?
I was too afraid, but well, I really didn't want to share. Be honest with you, I wasn't afraid, but I had a love. I had something on the inside of me I didn't want to share with nobody. I just wanted to keep that to myself. And
I don't think God was pleased with that. I think God wanted you to share that.
He did, but I was young and didn't know God at that time.
You sure were.
He was giving me a lot of spirit. It's like when one time before, one of the guys came to my house and said, hey, let's go play some ball. I said, okay. I said, I'll be up there. And so I got ready to go, and he stopped me. He said, don't go. And I said, don't go. He said, you're going to hurt yourself. I said, how can I hurt myself? I ain't never hurt myself. He said, don't go. And then so another boy said, go ahead, you're not going to hurt yourself. And I said, I don't know, is that the devil talking to me? It's a learning process. Excuse me. And so I said, I wonder, is this the devil talking to me? So I'm pacing through the house, and I ran out the door and went up there and started playing ball with the guy. And then so one of them messed up, and I did say a curse word. I said a curse word, and I went home, and then around about 7 o'clock that evening, that word started just coming and taking over my mind, what I had said. And it's like I was going crazy. I didn't know what to do. And so I wanted to go tell my grandmother, but she stepped in and started raising us after my mother died. But I was too afraid to tell her what I had said. And so I went back in my room and I started crying because I didn't know what was going on. And then so I called on him and he came. I called on the Lord came. And I said, He said, what you want me to do? I said, can you take this off of me? He said, I told you not to go. You was going to hurt yourself. I said, well, take this off of me. I asked him to take it off. And all of a sudden, it just left. It just seemed like I could have floated through the ceiling up there. It's just like I was on a special high. And so I went to school, and I didn't want to talk to anybody. I just want to go to school and come home, just be by myself.
Well, you have certainly been anointed, that's for sure. And I wanted to ask you a quick question. Do you believe in angels? Do you think this was your guardian angel that God was sending you to protect you?
No. I was speaking to the Lord personally, to the Lord myself, and He was talking to me. The funny thing about this, I never knew how to pray. The only thing I knew, whenever I called on Him, He was there. He was there. If I thought about Him, He was there. But what had happened, I'm going back again, when I was 9 years old, I stopped. The Lord had told me He was going to take care of me. And so this had my faith. I didn't know this was faith at this time. So at 9 years old, I used to ask my daddy for lunch money. He had the money though, so he would give me the quarter. I would look at his face and it seemed like he didn't want to do it. Maybe it was early in the morning. And so he would give it to me. So I made up my mind. I wasn't going to ask him no more for no money because I didn't like the way he looked at when I asked him for money. And so I told my brother about it, and my brother said, go ahead and ask him again. I said, no, I'm not going to ask him no more. And so he begged me to do it, so I did it. So I saw that look again, and so I said, okay, that's it. I said, I'm not going to ask him anymore. So I went to school many days with nothing to eat, no lunch money, nothing. And I never asked my daddy again for any money.
My goodness.
And so I thought about the Lord. I said, well, He said He's going to take care of me. So I started depending on Him because at that time, He made such a great imprint in my heart. The Lord made that imprint in my heart who He was and what He was going to do. Because everything He said He was going to do, He was doing.
Yeah.
But I didn't keep
You know what? We only had 30 minutes and we're running kind of close. I so appreciate you sharing. That's just so fascinating to me. That's an awesome, awesome testimony that you have. But I want to switch gears a little bit and talk about your book, Love Has No Feelings. Can you tell us a little bit about your book?
Yes. This is my book right here called Love Has No Feelings. I wrote 7 different novels in this book. The book is talking about marriage, divorce, parenting, children, relatives, friends, and enemies. And the reason why I wrote this book is because I had a coworker, and I asked him what did he do over the weekend. He told me that he was with a friend, and they was talking about marriage. And so he wasn't married, and so he was telling me all the good things about marriage. And then so I was listening to him, and then so after he got me talking, I said, well, there's another side of marriage, goes with marriage. And he said, what is that? I said, does pain and suffering come with that? And I said, and that comes along with the pleasure side. The pain and suffering side comes along with marriage. So I started telling him certain things, and his eyes got kind of watery. His eyes got watery, and so after I left him, and I started thinking about this, I said, wow, he was really touched about what I had said. And I started thinking, I said, well, maybe I need to write a book about marriage. And then and I started thinking, I said, well, what should I call the book if I did write a book about marriage? Then I said, well, I guess I would just call it Marriage, Bring Pain and Suffering. And so the next day when I saw him, so I told him I'm going to write a book and about marriage. And I told him that I'm going to call the book Marriage, Bring Pain and Suffering. So in my conversation, I kept on using the word love has no feeling. I kept on using that word. And he said, well, why don't you just call the book Love Has No Feeling? I said, that's what I'm calling. And then as time went on, so I started thinking maybe I could get 7 different novels out of that title there, Love Has No Feeling. So all of a sudden I just came up with marriage, divorce, parents, the children, relatives, friends, and enemies. It just came out of me just like that. And in the process, I started thinking to know which way the Lord was going to take me with this. And I started going down the road trying to write it this way. And so that didn't work. So I talked to my cousin because I wanted her to do some typing for me. And so she said, well, yeah, I'll work with you, you know. And so, and all of a sudden, you know, when I got with her, things just started coming out of me automatic, you know, like it just started rolling out of me. And that's how the book got started. Just like
So do you think God told you to write the book?
Oh, I know he told me to write it. I said, this book, I said, because of the experience I had, and then I knew a lot of things that he had taught me and showed me, and I wanted to share it. And this would be my way of sharing some of the experience that God had given me. And so I wrote the book. Each time I wrote I guess chapter. He was giving different chapters to me, and so the other people wanted. I had a few other people wanted to share their story. You know, they were sharing the story with me. I said, you know, I like to use your story, and then so I had a couple people. They shared their story with me, and then my other story that's in there, I wrote them myself as God gave it to me because I wanted to write about the different experiences and things that's going on in life. And I said, well, just one person can be blessed out of this book, you know, be worth it, you know. And so, but once I wrote the book and the book got published, uh, so many people have told me, say they have read the book 2 or 3 times. And that's how much they love the book. And people were saying, well, this book need to be on the counselor's office or somewhere. You know, that's how powerful the book is really is. I don't take no credit for that. I just peeing down what God had gave me to put in that book. The book, I do want to say the book this year, it went into the Hollywood database. It's a 5-star book on Amazon. And now it's getting ready to go global. I guess in the next month or so, it's going to go global. So I'm excited about that.
That is very, very exciting. Again, the name of the book is Love Has No Feelings by Harvey Brooks. We've got to wrap it up. We're out of town, but out of time. But Mr. Brooks, can you hold up the book one more time, and can you tell us how we can reach you and how we can get the book?
Well, you can go to Amazon, also Barnes and Noble. My publisher sell it, X Weaver. I sell it, and you can also it's an ebook where you can download it, and that's how you can get the book.
Perfect. Well, I just want to remind everyone too. Thank you so much, Mr. Brooks, for the interview. You're a fascinating person, and it's so exciting how God talks to you, and also that you have this beautiful book that you've written, Love Has No Feelings. And I just want to remind everyone that WYTV7 is a recipient for the best radio station for the Gospel Image Awards, and also Shine Your Light is the best TV show from the Gospel Image Awards. We're really excited about that. So without further ado, we're going to have to sign off, and I appreciate you so much, Mr. Brooks, and you have a beautiful day, okay?
Okay, I appreciate the interview, and you have a nice weekend. Thank you. All right.